AM 560. The Answer.
Before I switch topics, I really want to take these calls that are on the line. 312-642-5600. But Lee and Hammond, I'm curious to know this documentary you speak of. Lee?
Yeah, hey, Shaun.
How are you?
Okay, hey, yeah, about 35 years ago, there was a documentary on TV with Bill Curtis, no less. It was called Ho Chi Minh and Me, I think. It was all about the friendship between General Shaun from the Flying Tigers fame and Ho Chi Minh. During World War II, they were allies and actually fought a guerrilla campaign against the Japanese at the time. Matter of fact, at one time, I think General Shaun gave Ho Chi Minh a personal .45 caliber 1911 handgun as a gift. And toward the end of the war, Ho Chi Minh asked Shaun to send word to President Truman that the Vietnamese after the war wanted the French out of their country and wanted their country back. The General Shaun went ahead and acquiesced to that and got the word to the Truman administration, and the reply was, go pound sand. So when Ho Chi Minh heard that, he told Shaun, he said, I hate to say this, but one of these days our sons will wind up killing each other over this issue.
Man, oh man. Lee, what happens is history is written by the frauds. Not just Howard Zinn, who wrote the history books that have been teaching kids since the 80s, but you do realize how great of a fraud it is on the people, on the citizens of countries, when you get to rewrite the actual history. And in there lies the rub, right? Because they teach kids one thing. This is what it was about. And no one asks any questions. No one does any investigations. And if you repeat the propaganda just right, you get a good grade. It's an insane system rather than the right answer. And that is why, Lee, I really like authors that question the narrative that the government gives you. Because if the government is telling you something, it's a freaking lie. And I don't know how many decades or hundreds of years or bankruptcies we have to prove it, but it's the truth that the government consistently lies to us. It's pathological in its description of things. And I am telling you, Lee, the reason I so enjoyed talking to James Bradley is because this is why they cultivate politicians from the state and local governments to Congress and the Senate and hopefully the White House, so they could have them all on the same scam, all multimillionaires by telling the same fracking lies. And that's why they cannot stand an outsider. And look at what an outsider has done in 8 months, all because he wants to deliver peace. No government wants peace. None. That's where they make the money. So I appreciate that, and I will definitely look at it. Give me the title one more time.
Well, it was called Ho Chi Minh and Me. I think it was about General Shaun and his friendship with Ho Chi Minh.
All right.
Bill
Now, if I find out
listed the narrative.
If Bill Murray directed this, because that is a title that should be right out of Second City. But I do love it. Thank you very much, Lee, for educating me. Thank you. Appreciate it. Frangoch, Rogers Park.
Hey, Shaun, you're awesome. I appreciate how you included the movie American Gangster and a little bit about Rich. I think Rich is an awesome guy. He's always interesting to hear.
You notice something before I let you go? Do you notice something about Rich? And it's fascinating. Here's a drill instructor who, if you've talked to anybody who's ever been in the military, they're not warm and fuzzy. They're not optimistic. They want to break you down and rebuild you to a lean, mean killing machine. And all this guy wants to see is the common decency in politicians. It's fascinating to watch the complexity of what a drill instructor really is. He trained those kids. He slapped them around. He yelled at them because he wanted them to survive. It's an amazing hero story right there. But go ahead.
Exactly. My dad was in the Vietnam War, and I get they're kind of like dual. They want to believe, but they're also, he told me not to go in any war because he knew that they were fake to some degree. But anyway, I like how you pressed your guest about, the drugs and that sort of component. My take on it is that the KMT, or I forgot how to pronounce it, but the Shanghai Shek crowd in Vietnam or Taiwan, was trying to push out really the communists, and America was kind of just in there trying to, I guess with David Rockefeller, keep their interest, because the banks continued to be there, and in Russia and everywhere he went, apparently. Cuba.
Yeah, and when you look at the manipulation they were trying to protect, right? The currency manipulation, the trade manipulation, all of it. But never forget the kind of drugs price stability that has been there since Vietnam. Heroin is inflation-proof. Heroin. All the dope
there you go.
never moves. since the 60s. It's always the same
There you
sawbuck. How could it be? The only thing that's absolutely inflation-proof in our whole society is fracking heroin. That'll tell you,
One
because
thing-
the government's in on it. That's why.
All right, one thing I agree with your guest, though, I think the Vietnamese really just wanted the French and the communists out of their country like anybody. They didn't want anyone meddling foreign factions.
Of course not. Wouldn't everybody? Wouldn't everybody? And the analogy of Canada is exactly perfect. Okay, come on down. I dare you. Right? That's how we would be. Thank you, Frank.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Thanks.
Thank you. 312-642-5600.
Call Shaun now. 312